हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वशास्त्राभ्यपीयूषा सर्ववेदैकसत्फला सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाढ्य सर्वलोकैकदृक्पदा सर्वभागवतप्राण श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिध्वान्तोदितादित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तिता परमानन्दपाठाय प्रेमवर्षाक्षरायते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमस्तुमे। मदेकबन्धुमत्सङ्गे मद्गुरो मन्महाधना मन्निस्तारकवादभाग्य मदानन्दनमस्तुते। असाधु साधुतादाय अतीनीच तारक आनमञ्च कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्णारित्कण्ठया स्फुरः। भूतैर्महद्भिर्जयिमा पुरो विभु निर्मायसे ते जगमुषु पुरुषः। भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडश षोडशात्मक सोऽहं कृषिष्ट भगवान् वचांसि मे। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome back. So today we are going to hear from chapter 5, Narada's instruction on Srimad Bhagavatam for Vyasadeva. In our last class, we have discussed that when there was an overlap of the millennium, at that time Vyasadeva was born on the womb of Satyavati. by Parashara Muni. And this Vyasadeva is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord, who is called Krishna Dvaipayan Vyasa. And when Vyasadeva could see the influence of time, means as the millennium starts changing from Satya to Treta to Dwapar, he could see that there will be deterioration on matter, and people who are faithless will be reduced in their lifespan. People will become lazy, they will lose their intelligence. So people will not be able to understand the knowledge from the Veda just by hearing. Therefore, he understood that there is a need for compiling the Vedas. Therefore, he divided one Veda into four, and at the same time, he meditated upon the misfortune of three Sudra Dvijabandhunam Traina Shruti Gochara. He understood that women, labor class people, and those who are born in Brahmana family but devoid of Brahminical qualities, Dvijabandhus, they will not have access to the Veda. They will not understand the principles of the Veda. Therefore, iti Bharatamakyanam. He also compiled Mahabharata for these people who will not have access to the Vedas. So in that way, in Mahabharata and Puranas, he gave detailed description about the religious principles that need to be followed by a human being to attain perfection in this human form of life. Even though he was contemplating on the welfare of the entire human civilization, and he did his best to describe dharma for one and all. But still, Vyasadeva was despondent. He was seated on his ashram on the bank of Saraswati River. So he was puzzled. He was thinking, why, even though I have studied the Veda and I have explained it and I am engaged in the welfare activities of everybody, but still I am not satisfied and happy. Maybe he was thinking, maybe I haven't sufficiently glorified the personality of Godhead. But he was not very clear about his despondency. Therefore, by the arrangement of the personality of Godhead, Srila Narad Muni, he arrived on the spot. So one question can be asked that Vyasadeva, who is an incarnation of the personality of Godhead, how come he became confused? He was despondent, even though he was engaged in the welfare activities of the entire humanity. Still, being the Supreme Lord, incarnation of Godhead, why he was feeling despondent? Yes, it is explained that Bhagavad Ichchaya. This was by the will of the Lord, because in this way, Lord wanted to appear. He himself wanted to incarnate in form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Just like in Krishna's pastime, we know in Brahma Vimohan Lila, Baladev was also confused to see how the calves who were even 1 year older, they were attracted to their mother cow, and the gopis, they are also attracted to their sons who are actually Krishna. You know this pastime, right? So like Baladev was bewildered. That was also due to the uh, Maya of the Supreme Lord. So here in this connection also it was the desire of the Lord so that Bhagavatam can descend. So in that way, sitting on his ashram on the bank of Saraswati, Vyasadeva is contemplating, he is trying to find out the reason behind his despondency. And then at that time, his Guru Maharaj, Narad Muni, he arrived, and with due respect, he welcomed him and he gave him an esteemed seat. Then, this is how we concluded chapter 4. Now, in the beginning of chapter 5, Srila Sutta Goswami says, Sutovacha Atha tam sukhamasina upasinam brihatsava devarsihi praha viprarsin vinapani smayan niva. So when Narad Muni was comfortably seated and Sukhamasina, at that time, Devarsi, who? Narad Muni, Rishi among the demigods. He spoke to Viprarsi, says among the Brahmana, that is Vyasadeva. So here the question can be asked that, oh, Narad Muni came and Vyasadeva supposed to ask the question first, right? Without even Vyasadeva asking anything, Narad Muni started speaking, Smayaniva, while smiling. Uh, uh, like in Bhagavad Gita, we see when Arjuna was perplexed, he didn't know what to do. And he told Krishna that, okay, place my chariot in between the two armies. So Prahasan Niva Bharata. At that time, Krishna was also, smiling. So these great personalities, they know what is the problem. So in this case, Narad Muni, who holds a veena in his hand, and also he is Brihatsava. Brihatsava means one who has great qualities. He has great fame. Jasa means fame. So in that way, he understood what's wrong with Vyasadeva. That's why, while smiling, he addressed Vyasadeva, Rishi amongst the Brahmanas. Prabhupada writes, Narada was smiling because he well knew the great sage Vyasa, and the cause of his disappointment. So he knew, therefore he was smiling. Narada Vaja. Parasharya Mahabhaga Bhavatah Kaschidatmana Paritvasyati Sarira Atma Manasai Bhava. Narada started speaking. Oh, son of Parasara. There's a Parasarya. Apatyavachak Sabda. Oh, son of Parasara. Mahabhag. Atmana. Paritusyati Sarira Atma Manasa Evava. That means when somebody identifies himself with this body, when the mind identifies the body as the self, there are different types of emotions become manifest in such a person. So now Narad Muni is saying, "Oh Vyasa, even though you are son of Parasara Rishi, but still having identified your mind, having identified with the body, now you are disappointed. So, are you well? It looks like you are not looking well. So, what's going on with you?" So Prabhupada is saying, being a great son of the great father, he should not have identified the self with the body or the mind. So this is a lesson for us. Many times we become disappointed for no reason. Why? Because we identify ourselves with the body and mind. So therefore, we need to find a clue how we can be at peace with study of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what going to come afterwards, you will see. And Narad Muni further continues, Jigyasitam susampannam apites mahadadbhutam kritavan bharatam sat justvam sarvartha paribringhitam. Oh, he is saying, Jigyasitam susampannam api. Dharmadi jigyasa. That means now Narad Muni is saying, my dear Vyasadeva, you have very scrutinizingly studied all the Vedic literatures and you have very elaborately described about the dharma, artha, kama, moksha in different editions of Puranas. So, api Surya Mahad Adbhutam Kritavan Bharatam. Even the great book Mahabharata also you have compiled. Justam. Why Sarvartham Paribrimhitam? Because you are expert in the Vedas. And you have elaborately explained all this. So you must be happy. Why you are not happy? Huh? So then he said, Jigyasitam adhitam cha brahma yattat sanatanam tathapi shochasyatmanam arpitartha iva prabhu. So after speaking about Brahman, impersonal Brahman, as well as the knowledge derived therefrom, you have delineated all these subject matters very nicely, but still asampanna ibhavati. You still look like you have not achieved the success. Why should you be despondent in spite of all this? Thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu, what's wrong with you? Then Vyasadeva starts speaking. Vyasavacha. Astiva me sarvamidam tvayoktam tathapi natma paritusyate me tanmulam abhyaktam agadhabodham pricchamahe tvatma bhavatma bhutam. So then Vyasadeva, he started speaking. Pricchamaye tvam tu Atma Bhava Atma Bhutam. Atma Bhu is Brahma and Atma Bhutam, one who is born from Brahma, that is Narada. He is saying, I am asking you, Narada. Actually, Astiva Mesava Midam Pratam. Whatever you have said that I have studied the Veda, I have compiled them, for the welfare of the general people, everything is okay. Yeah, I have done everything. Tathapi natma tushyati. Still, I am not satisfied. And tanmulam abhyaktam agadhabodham. Actually, the root cause is not known to me. So please kindly tell me, instruct me, enlighten me. And this is the point, that when we meet with our spiritual master, then we should be open to our guru, that what is your problem? If you don't tell your problem clearly, then how can Guru Maharaj instruct you? That's why I saying Savai Bhagavan Veda Samast Savai Bhavan Veda Samast Guiham Upasita Jat Purusha Purana Paravaresha Manasaiva Vishwam Sijatyavatati Gunairasanga. So he is saying that, my Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you, because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of spiritual world, the original personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature. So he is glorifying him. He is saying, actually, your position is very, very superior. Tam parjatan arka iva triloki. You are traveling in the three world like arka, Surya, sun god. That means you see everything, you know everything. Trilokim antaschara vayu rivatma sakshi. You are atma sakshi. Actually, you can enter into the innermost chamber in the heart of everybody, and you can know everything. Antaschara vayu, just like air is circulating everywhere in every body. Paravare brahmani dharma vrittahi. So, para avara. Now, it is explained by the Siddhar Swami that he is saying, अतः परे ब्रह्मणि धर्मत योगेन निष्णातस्य तत् उक्तम याज्ञवल्क्य. Actually, he is saying that you are expert in Vedic literature. Therefore, you have defined the dharma very clearly, right? What is their dharma? Saying, Ijyachara dama himsa dana sadhyaya karmanam ayam tu parama dharma jajyogena darshanam iti avare brahmani vedakhe vratai swadhyaya niyamai nisnatasya amaram atyartham jan nyunam tad vichaksha. So here Vyasadev's intention is that I have very clearly defined the dharma. What is dharma? Saying Ijya chara dama himsa. Ijya means worship. Worship of the different demigods. Achar, different kind of, following the rules and regulations. Dama, self-control. Ahimsa, non-violence. Dana means the way to give charity. Then Swadhyaya means study of the Vedic literature. And Karmanam, about Varnashram duties. Ayam tu Paramadharma. But what is Paramadharma? Jat yogena atma darshanat. By a yoga, one can attain self-realization. So all these things, even though I have described, but Nunam alam, I still feel I am insufficient. I have not sufficiently done something. So, Vichakshva, please find out what is my deficiency. There must be some deficiency. So please let me know what is my problem. You see, Vyasadeva is such a great personality, and he understands Vedic literature quite well, and he has elaborately described but still he is submitting his situation to his Guru Maharaj. He is not thinking that, oh, I know everything. So that means I have done something, you know. He is not saying that I have done something great. No, he is thinking what exactly I wanted to achieve, I am not achieved yet. So please instruct me. Then Narad Muni says, Sri Narada Vacha, text number 8. Bhavatanu prayam jaso bhagavato maram. Je naivaso natushita manyeta darsanam khiram. Immediately, an expert doctor will diagnose the disease immediately and he will start prescribing. Sometimes you have been to some doctors, you see, they just by looking at you or just, asking you a few questions, they have identified, they have diagnosed what is the problem with your body, and without further asking any question, they start prescribing the medicine, right? This is the sign of an expert doctor. So here, Narad Muni is an expert doctor. He has immediately understood the problem. Therefore, he is saying, Bhavatanudita prayam, anudita prayam. Actually, we have almost not praised the Supreme Lord. Means we have not sufficiently praised the Supreme Lord. That is the point he is saying. Anudita prayam, jaso bhagavatam Vimala jasa. The most auspicious, the spotless glory of the Supreme Lord is not sufficiently glorified by you. Okay? Jenai vasu natu sida. Therefore, you are not satisfied. From this understanding, we can conclude that unless one is engaged in glorification of the personality of Godhead, he can never attain satisfaction. Okay? Natusyata manyata darshanam khilam. I consider your so-called philosophical narration about dharma, artha, kam, and moksha is inferior. Okay? Akhilam. Khilam means nunam, is inferior. Your so-called philosophical description. Prabhupada writes, Vyasadeva has completed many explanations on Vedic literatures, ending with the Vedanta philosophy, but none of them have been written directly glorifying the personality of Godhead. Prabhupada is saying further, the compiler of the Vedanta darshan is Vyasadeva himself. Yet, he is troubled, although he is the author. So, what sort of transcendental bliss can be derived by the readers and listeners of Vedanta, which is not explained directly by Vyasadeva, the author? So, try to understand. Even nowadays, there are some people, some so-called spiritual practitioners, they put a lot of emphasis into studying Vedanta Sutra. But here you can see it's a very practical logic. The compiler of Vedanta Darshan, Vedanta Sutra, he himself is puzzled. So without getting further explanation on Vedanta Sutra, what can one achieve? What can one know? First of all, you should know that this Vedanta is written with logic to explain the Brahma Tattva. Okay? And unless it is explained properly, even by Vyasadeva himself, how can one understand? Therefore, herein arises the necessity of explaining Vedanta Sutra, because he is perplexed. That's why he should explain it in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam by the self-same author. So therefore, this Vyasadeva, he recognized that there is a problem. Even though I have compiled Vedanta Sutra, so I should compile Srimad Bhagavatam. Means Narad Muni is going to instruct him. Okay? This is Narad Muni's instruction, that you are confused because you have not sufficiently glorified the Supreme Lord. That's why you should compile Srimad Bhagavatam. So this sends out a very clear message to all of us that we must study Srimad Bhagavatam, and if we study Bhagavatam, then only you can understand the conclusive understanding of Vedanta Sutra. We know Bhagavatam is nothing but a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Okay? Vedanta Darshan. Then he says, Jatha dharmadayasartha munivarjyanukirtitaha na tatha vasudevasya mahimahyanuvarnitaha. He's saying, you are great sage. You have very elaborately described dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Jatha dharmadayasartha means by performing one dharma, one can strengthen one's economic condition, and then how one can gratify the senses. All these things very nicely you have described. There's no doubt about it. But the way you have emphasized on these aspects, but you haven't sufficiently glorified the personality of Godhead Vasudeva. Na tatha Vasudevasya mahima hyanuvarnita. The glories of Vasudeva is not described by you. So, Prabhupada is writing that the prompt diagnosis of Sri Narada is at once declared. The root cause of the despondency of Vyasadeva was his deliberate avoidance of glorifying the Lord in his various editions of Puranas. Deliberate avoidance. So now you can imagine then those people who read only Puranas, how can they get peace and satisfaction? So therefore, Prabhupada, he is writing further that he has certainly, as a matter of course, given descriptions of the glories of the Lord Sri Krishna, but not as many as given to religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and salvation. These four items are by far inferior to engagement in the devotional service of the Lord. Sri Vyasadeva, as the authorized scholar, knew very well this difference. So that means this gives a very clear message to all of us that in this age of Kali, people who are taking interest in the execution of only so-called religious activities without giving emphasis on to the glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, these are all useless endeavors. Therefore, we are very fortunate to be in this moment where Prabhupada has given us the clear understanding, and he has given the clear guidance how we can take advantage from this human form of life. So then now Narad Muni, he continues in text number 10. Na jad vachaschitra padam harirjaso jagat pavitram pragranita karihi chit tadvayasam tirthamusanti manasa na jatrahamsa niramantyu shikshaya. So he is saying, Najad vachaschitra padam harirjasa. So here, Narad Muni indirectly glorifying the glories of the personality of Godhead. How? He is saying, my dear Vyasadeva, you have compiled all these Puranas and very nicely with very decorative language, ornamental way. Oh, if you do this, you will get this, result. You do that, you will get that result. Obviously, you have given very colorful descriptions. But he is saying, Najad vachas chitra padam hare jasa jagat pavitram pragnita karishit. The whole world will be purified by hearing the glories of the personality of Godhead. In other words, any language or any description, even if that is full of ornamental words, and there may be perfect grammatical composition, but if it is not aiming at glorifying the personality of Godhead, tad bayasam tirtham musanti manasa. That becomes bayasa tirtha. That becomes a place of pilgrimage for the crow. So you see, like here in Bengal, there are so many writers. They write different novels, upanyasikas, and like Surat Chandra Vidyasagar and all others. I don't want to mention the name. And you find they have written volumes of books. What does it contain? It contains only mundane subject matter. Even forget about previous days writing. Nowadays, if you go to the market, there are so many literatures available which are speaking about sensual activities. Mostly, people are very much inclined to read and hear about these literatures. Even though it is composed without any grammatical error and it is written in a very opulent way, in a very you can see chanda is correct, everything is perfect, words are chosen, with chosen words they have compiled the literature. But that is the place of pilgrimage for the crows. What does the crow do? The crows, they early in the morning, they gather together in a dustbin where people have thrown their remnants. And sometimes the foods are rotten, and the crows, they enjoy their feast being assembled in such dustbin, in the bins. So, those who do not want to hear about the glories of the Supreme Lord, they actually take shelter of such literatures. But na jatra hamsa niramantu shikshaya. Those who are hamsas, hamsa means paramahamsa. Paramahamsas are those who are always in transcendental position. Hamsa, Rajahamsa, here says Paramahamsa. It has a very particular characteristics. If you give milk mixed with water to drink, this Hamsa, the swan, it will drink only milk. It will leave water. It doesn't accept water. This is Hamsa, swan. So those who are Paramahamsas, devotees of the Lord, great devotees of the Lord, even though they are in this material world, in the midst of material circumstances, they don't accept anything from material world. They only go to those places, or they only read those literatures which are in relationship with the personality of Godhead. Just like a swan will never go to a garbage tank. A swan will go to a place where there are a lot of lotuses growing, and they enjoy the colorful and very serene atmosphere of Mansarovar. So in that way, we should understand that people who are not attached to the glories of the Supreme Lord, they have just simply wasted their time. So by saying that the literature which are not in relationship with the glorification of the personality of Godhead, that is creating a place of pilgrimage for the crows, I mean to say, the people who are like crows, like having crows-like mentality, they go there In that way, indirectly, Narad Muni is saying that it is always better to hear about the glories of the Supreme Lord. My dear Vyasadeva, Prabhupada is writing, social literary men, scientists, mundane poets, theoretical philosophers, and politicians who are completely absorbed in the material advancement of sense pleasure are all dolls of the material energy. They take pleasure in a place where rejected subject matters are thrown. According to Swami Sridhara, this is the pleasure of the prostitute hunters. Very heavy word. Uh, so, therefore, in the next verse, in text number 11, now he is directly glorifying the glories of the Supreme Lord. Tadbhag visargo janatadha viplavo jasmin pratislokam avadhavatyapi namananantasya jasonkitani jat srunvanti gayanti granhanti sadhava. On the other hand, tadbhag visargo janatadha viplava. When literature which are composed in glorifying the personality of Godhead, even though they are not composed perfectly, there might be some grammatical error, okay, maybe it is not written with proper meter, there might be some error, but still it can eradicate the sin of the misdirected people. Those who are engaged in sinful activities, they can be rescued by taking shelter of such literature, even though it is imperfectly composed, because it is glorifying the personality of Godhead. Jasmin pratislokam avadhavatya namanantasya jasankitanya sunnanti gayanti granhanti sadhava. Who are sadhava? Jiva Goswami says, I should read out that commentary for you. He is giving very beautiful comment in this connection. I just wanted to bring to your attention. He is saying, Sadhava Purvakta Prajita Kaitava Api Bhakta Paramananda Vesat Vividha Tayanu Silanti Tyaha. So he is saying that previously we have said this Bhagavatam discards religious activities which are based on fruitive intentions. Prajita Kaitava Dharma. And those devotees who have completely discarded the religious practices which are based on fruitive intentions, what do? Bhakta Paramananda Vesat. Because of experiencing superior bliss, Vividha Tayanu Silayanti, they actually take part in the reading and contemplation of the glories of the personality of Godhead in many different ways. How? Sunvanti, Gayanti, Granhanti, Sadhava. Sunanti. Sunanti means if there are sadhus, they assemble together, they find one is very qualified to speak about the glory of the Supreme Lord, then the other starts hearing. Or if there is no one to hear, then Granhanti, they will meditate upon what they have read or what they have heard in the association of saintly personalities. So this is how they actually enjoy supreme bliss. Srila Prabhupada, in this connection, he has very nicely, he has actually poured out his heart into this purport. When I was reading this, every time when I come across this purport, I feel great satisfaction and bliss that Prabhupada, you can see Prabhupada's heart through this purport. just I want to read out this section for you. It is the duty of every responsible Indian to broadcast the transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the world, to do all the supermost good, as well as to bring about the desired peace in the world. Such a powerful statement. Prabhupada is saying Bhagavatam is the only way, you can say the way, to attain peace in the entire world. Because India has failed in her duty by neglecting this responsible work, there is no much quarrel and trouble all over the world. There is so much quarrel and trouble all over the world because India has not done the job properly. That's why Prabhupada is blaming the India. When you have got such wonderful literature which can bring the whole world, when we can actually bring peace to the whole world and you have not done your part, that means you are irresponsible. We are confident that if the transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam is received only by the leading men of the world, certainly there will be a change of heart, and naturally the people in general will follow them. Wow. Prabhupada is saying, see, how he said, we are confident. Prabhupada is very confident. When, that's why in the beginning class, I had mentioned to you that we are thinking to start one video series on Srimad Bhagavatam. For your information, I should tell you, we have already started the video series and we have already uploaded 2 and few more are coming. That is for the children. The title is Srimad Bhagavatam, the Savior of the whole world. If you want, you can now stay connected with us, and for your children actually, they can now understand this Bhagavatam philosophy in a very easy way. Children nowadays are very much attached to watching so many dirty things in net. And especially during this COVID time, even if you don't want, still you can't avoid your child from looking at the dirty things, because they have to. School is not teaching, and this the schools are now teaching through internet. So what to do? So therefore, what we have done is we have prepared this so that sometimes you can also encourage your child to go through this, and they definitely Bhagavatam is very powerful, and I am praying this because this is Bhagavatam. And definitely those who are going to look at these presentations, it will have a positive effect in their life. We are very much confident about it. So see, Prabhupada is saying that we are confident. If the transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam is received only by the leading man of the world, even though he is saying leading, I would say no, anyone who receives, no problem. Because Prabhupada has a particular intention here. Why? Jajjadacharati sreshtastattat evetara janah sahaj pramanam kute lokastadanu vartate. Those who are leaders in the society, if they take to Srimad Bhagavatam philosophy sincerely and seriously, automatically they will have the power to help their dependent people to take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. That is how we can bring a positive change in the lives of the world's misdirected civilization. Yes, they are actually uploaded in YouTube channel. I'll tell you afterwards. The mass of people in general are tools in the hands of the modern politicians and leaders of the people. If there is a change of heart of the leaders only, certainly there will be a radical change in the atmosphere of the world. My dear devotees, in this connection, I would request you, if you ever get any opportunity to come in contact with a leader in the world, please try to hand over Srimad Bhagavatam to them. I'm confident if they take Bhagavatam, definitely one day they're going to read. And that is the way to bring a change in the world. We know that our honest attempt to present this great literature conveying transcendental message for reviving God consciousness of the people in general and re-spiritualizing the world atmosphere is fraught with many difficulties. Our presenting this matter is adequate matter inadequate language, especially a foreign language, uh, will certainly fail, and there will be so many literary discrepancies despite our honest attempt to present it in the proper way. But we are sure that with all our faults in this connection, the seriousness of the subject matter will be taken into consideration. You see, my dear devotee, in this connection, I would also like to tell you, you may find a lot of deficiencies in our presentation. Don't look into it. Definitely, I can tell you our team is working with all sincerity. I would say our sincerity will oblige Krishna to become manifest in the heart of the individuals who are going to watch this presentation. And the leaders of the society will still accept this due to its being an honest attempt to glorify the Almighty God. When there is fire in a house, the inmates of the house go out to get help from the neighbors who may be foreigners. And yet, without knowing the language, the victims of the fire express themselves. And the neighbors understand the need, even though not expressed in the same language. The same spirit of cooperation is needed to broadcast this transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the polluted atmosphere of the world. The internet is polluting the entire world. So you try to use this net to broadcast the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's how you can purify the atmosphere. Okay, Bhagavatam, the same spirit of cooperation is needed to broadcast this transcendental message of the Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the polluted atmosphere of the world. After all, it is a technical science of spiritual values. And thus, we are concerned with the techniques and not with the language. If the techniques of this great literature are understood by the people of the world, there will be success. Wow! Just see what a wonderful purport Prabhupada is giving. Actually, Prabhupada is revealing himself. His heart is very nicely revealed here. Throughout his whole life, what did he do? He just spent his time in giving Bhaktivedanta purports. And these are full of nectars. So now it is our duty that we should bring it to the people. And next Prabhupada is again saying, in the beginning, they may not like it. I mean, those people who are hunting for material sense gratification in this world, in the beginning, they may not like it. But see what he's saying. Prabhupada is giving a very nice analogy. Just like somebody who is affected by jaundice. They don't like sugar candy. I mean, sugar candy tastes bitter to them. So whole world is now affected by the jaundice of ignorance. They won't like this message of Bhagavatam. But you being an expert teacher, never neglect in executing your responsibility of distributing this Bhagavatam to one and all. Prabhupada is saying, let there be systematic propaganda for popularizing reading of the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. My dear devotee, you take this responsibility. Now we are just small number of devotees here listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading together. You also start your group. You also start reading Srimad Bhagavatam with your near and dear one. Prabhupada is saying therefore, similarly, let there be systematic propaganda for popularizing reading of Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, which will act like sugar candy for the jaundice-like condition of sense gratification. When men have a taste for this literature, the other literatures which are creating poison to society, which are catering poison to the society, will then automatically cease. We are sure therefore that everyone in human society will welcome Srimad Bhagavatam, even though it is now presented with so many faults, for it is recommended by Sri Narada, who has very kindly appeared in this chapter. If you see how many times Srila Prabhupada just saying, Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam in this purport. Just I read one section from the entire purport. But it is very powerful, very appealing. So, dear devotees, try to understand the importance of studying Bhagavatam and distributing this Bhagavatam philosophy to everybody. And therefore, in Mayapur Institute, we are trying in our small endeavor to distribute this message from Bhaktivedanta purports, keeping it as it is. That's why you can see sometimes I am also reading from some Acharya's Tika. I don't want to make this class to an entertaining program. After all, just now we heard, right? What all are you going to achieve? Even if you are having just kind of lot of stories, lot of kind of amusement and talks, you will not achieve anything actually. You don't achieve anything. So just simply here, we are all devotees. We don't need to have some kind of other way of presenting it so that we will be intrigued to hear Bhagavatam. No, we are already devotee. So now our duty should be just hear the pure message of Srimad Bhagavatam as it is. Actual narration. That will act as the nectar. This is actually nectar, not act as nectar. This is nectar. And you try to release the nectar. That's how Narada Muni further he continues. He says, text number 12. Text number 12. नैष्कर्म्यमप्यच्युतभाववर्जितं न शोभते ज्ञानमलं निरञ्जनं कुतः पुनः शश्वतभद्रमीश्वरे न चार्पितं कर्म यदप्यकारणम्. So here he is saying नैष्कर्म्यमप्यच्युतभाववर्जितं. Here the goal of Narada Muni is knowledge. That is Brahma Gyan, is inferior to the glories of the Supreme Lord. Then what to speak of Sakama or even Niskama Karma? Definitely they are much more inferior. Therefore, we should again take shelter of the glories of the Supreme Lord. Naskarmapyachyudabhava na sobhate Jnanam alam niranjan. And kutah punah sasal bhadramishware na charpitam karma jadapya karanam. People are very much attached to perform activities with motives, desires, sakama karma, right? So at that time, what can you do? So now our recommendation is, you don't just simply focus on performing activities which are devoid of fruitive intentions. Rather, you submit everything in the lotus feet of Krishna. Akama sarvakama va mokshakama udaradi tibrena bhakti yogena jeta purusham param. That is the core teachings of our Prabhupada. Prabhupada never blaspheme anyone, never discourage anyone to take up Krishna Bhakti, even though one may have lot of fruitive desires, may have been, loitering in the material world. Actually, we are like worm in stool. we don't have good desire in this world. We are always looking for sense gratification and enjoying with the matters. I mean, it's the material civilization. So then, Prabhupada is saying that we should just take shelter of devotional service in terms of glorifying the Lord. He is saying fruitive work in which almost all people in general are engaged is always painful either in the beginning or at the end. Means when somebody undertakes fruitive activities, what happens? To perform a karma kanda ritual, first of all, you need to go to the astrologer to find out, the Graha Vipra actually, to find out what is the correct day, what is the correct time that you can perform this activity. Okay? Then you need to find a proper qualified Brahmana who can perform these activities for you on your behalf. And third thing is, to perform these activities, you need pure ingredients. Okay? Now we say you have got, okay, you have found the time. Now you have found a Brahmana who can do this, and you have got ingredients, some or other, and now you're going to do it. If you start the work, before it completes, if there is a little bit of discrepancy in terms of, let us say, the Brahmana who is chanting mantra, maybe he has, spelled incorrectly a particular mantra. Oh, then you will not get the result. You can see, starting from the beginning, only trouble and trouble and trouble, right? But in devotional service, let's talk about Ajamil. Ajamil was a sinful man. Even though he was a Brahmana in his early days, but towards the end of his life, we know he was very sinful. And because of Nam Avhas, he got delivered. Yamadutas could not take him. Vishnudutas just immediately came. What did he say? While calling the name of his son, addressing his son, he chanted Narayana, Narayana Aya. He is saying, Narayana, where are you? Come to me. I don't know why these strange personalities are here. They are trying to kill me. So please, Narayana, come to me. He was thinking, maybe these people, they should not go to hurt my boy Narayana. See, out of the attachment, he called out for his son, Narayana, and immediately he got delivered. Can you imagine the powerful effect of devotional service? He was lying on the deathbed, maybe passing stool and urinating at that time by looking at his Yamadutas. What kind of purity he had? Do you think somebody, when he is in impure state, he can perform any rituals, karmakanda rituals to get the result? No. Here you see somebody who is already in a very, precarious situation. He just chanted Krishna's, Narayana's name, even without even calling Narayana. Still he got delivered. This is the power of devotional service. And Prabhupada was saying, is always painful either in the beginning or at the end. It can be fruitful only when made subservient to the devotional service of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is confirmed that the result of such fruitive work may be offered to the service of the Lord. Otherwise, it leads to material bondage. The bona fide enjoyer of the fruitive work is the personality of Godhead, and thus, when it is engaged for the sense gratification of the living beings, it becomes an acute source of trouble. When Krishna has said, Aham hi sarvajagyanam bhaktacho paurevacha, then why are you thinking that you can perform some activities with fruitive intentions to enjoy yourself? Prabhupada is saying if we perform activities with fruitive intention, then it becomes an acute source of trouble. That's all. That is what is actually the whole world is facing today. But people don't know. Therefore, you are the student of Srimad Bhagavatam. You must, broadcast this message. Therefore, he says, the next, Atho. Atho Mahabhaga Bhavana Moghadrik Suche Sabha Satyarato Dritabrata Urukramasya Khilabandamuktaye Samadhinano Smaratad Vichestitam. Atho. So, atha means because there is fault in the literature which you have compiled in the meantime. Therefore, Mahabhaga. Mahabhaga means you are a great fortunate person. Bhavan Amoghadrik. Jathartadrik Dhir Yasya. Vyasadeva have been defined here as Amoghadrik, means with his intelligence he can see things properly. He can differentiate between right and wrong thing. He is Amoghadrik. Shuchisrava, Satyarata, Dridhabrata, Dhritabrata, 16 spiritual qualities, and he is truthful. So he has got all these great qualities. Therefore he is saying, Uru Kramasya Khila Vandamukta Samadhinano Smavitabhijastita. Samadhina. In meditation, you must meditate upon the pastimes of Urukrama. Why? Akhila Bandha Muktai. These pastimes of the personality of Godhead will liberate people in general. So therefore, already you are saying that you are engaged for the welfare activities of the people in general. Therefore, I am asking you, now you can think of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. That means he is asking him, first you meditate, then you narrate it for the welfare of everyone. Srila Vyasadeva or his representatives are qualified because they are rightly trained to see things in true perspective. Srila Vyasadeva and his representatives are pure in thought due to their spiritual enlightenment, fixed in their vows due to their devotional service, and determined to deliver the fallen souls rotting in material activities. So in that way, Prabhupada is saying, Srimad Bhagavatam therefore is meant for all the living beings all over the universe for total liberation from all kinds of material bondage. Such transcendental narrations of the pastimes of the Lord can be described only by liberated souls like Vyasadeva and his bona fide representatives, who are completely merged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Only to such devotees do the pastimes of the Lord and their transcendental nature become automatically manifest by dint of devotional service. We just need to remain sincere in our Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada has given everything. If we read and try to understand and contemplate on his instructions, definitely we can attain great success in this life. Then he says, Tatanyatha kinchana jad vivakshataha prithak drisastat kitarupanamabhi na karhi chitkvapi chatusthhitamati Labhe tabata hatano rivaspadam. Uh, because whatever you have described, it is faulty, it is full of fault. Therefore, tatanyatha kinchanajat vivakshata, whatever you have described means, for example, if you see the description of different Puranas, what does it say? There are Sattvika Purana, Rajasika Purana, Tamasika Purana. People who are inspired by their desires, they will take shelter of different demigods. What does it mean? Means when they are engaged in the worship of different demigods, they will be chanting their name, they will be chanting their glories, and in that way, after some time, they will accept him. Not only that, today he is thinking, now I want to become successful in my business. And tomorrow he is thinking, I want to get a beautiful wife. The next day he is thinking, I want to have a good son. So then he is going to execute different kind of, rituals to get his desires fulfilled, right? What does Bhagavad Gita says? Vivasayatmaka buddhi rekeha purnandana. Those who are not resolute in their determination means, what is the determination? Determination to serve the God. Guru Maharaj has told me this, so I have to do this. That's all. Resolute in their determination. If they are not resolute, then their intelligence is many branched. One day they hear this thing, next day they hear that thing, like what is happening in the world today. One day he is going, this son is going to his friend circle. One friend said, oh, you should become a computer engineer. He said, yes, we should become a computer engineer. The next day he said, no, we should become a doctor. He said, okay, we should become a doctor. The next day he said, no, these are all troublesome, let us make our own business. Puzzled. Because there is no clear direction. Similarly here, everybody wants to become happy and peaceful, but how to become happy and peaceful? This is the way. Srimad Bhagavatam. No bata hata rivaspada. Just like, a boat, when it is in the river, it becomes, it starts shaking with wind. So the breeze in form of the instructions from Veda can wave our mind like a boat which starts shaking by wind. Therefore, we need to be very, very careful not to waste our time in taking shelter of other Puranas. Prabhupada is speaking, in the various Puranas, he has recommended the worship of so many demigods in different forms and names. The result is that people in general are puzzled how to fix their mind in the service of the Lord. They are always disturbed about finding the real path of self-realization. Srila Narada is stressing this particular defect in the Vedic literature compiled by Vyasadeva, and thus he is trying to emphasize describing everything in relation with the Supreme Lord and no one else. It's a very important point we need to understand. People, Prabhupada is saying, when people start worshipping different demigods, after some time they accept them as independent gods, or they put them as the competitor of God. They're spoiling the entire mood. There's a total misdirection, right? So, in this connection, we should understand the importance of preaching pure bhakti yoga. Oh, Prabhu, if we start talking about pure bhakti yoga, not many people will be interested. Therefore, we should take an indirect approach. with colorful words so that people will take interest. Okay, sometimes you can do that, but don't take that as the kind of sole approach of Krishna consciousness. Okay, sometimes some people are so too much engrossed, maybe you can, but already those who have taken interest, they have shown their interest in Krishna consciousness, you don't have to kind of give an indirect approach to them. You go just directly. So this is where we need to refine our approach, that those who are coming from a different background altogether, who doesn't have any knowledge, don't have any interest, okay, you may take an indirect approach to get them interested. But already, even though somebody may not know anything, but he is showing the interest, for him you directly give the message. He will become more powerful because he is ready. Just like a patient who is now recovering, he is having a better appetite, better health condition, you give him good food, right? Because he is already showing the symptom of recovery. His appetite is already there. Why do you give him some boiled sabji? At that time you give him good food. On the other hand, the patient who is already in a very deteriorated condition, his health is very, very bad, you can't give him very nutritious food. At that time, you give him something, mixed with some other items so that he can easily digest it. So like that. So you should be an expert physician to know when to give this pure message of Srimad Bhagavatam and when you can give an indirect approach. So, Bhagavatam is very relishing, and if you have faith on the words of Srila Prabhupada, as Prabhupada is telling today, that we all must distribute this message of Srimad Bhagavatam so that there will be a revolution in the lives of the misdirected civilization. So, you'll be part of this revolution. Welcome, dear devotees, come forward. Just enjoy teaching this pure Bhagavatam philosophy to everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.